reversed the result of your fight.
Yeah.
Should they reverse the result of that fight as well?
It just depends. Like if that changes the whole fight, if that gives Roach a victory, give him the victory. That's how you keep the integrity of the sport, right? That's why they suspended me, right? To keep the.
Tank seems fed up with the mocking over the knee he took during the Roach fight, and now he's retaliating. The backlash has been relentless ever since the fight ended, and now Gervontadavis is feeling the heat.
To Tank Davis, GTD, and I don't mean got the draws, went up against Lamont Roach. Let me tell you something. Tank got spanked. Roach should have won. And Tank even dropped to his knee. It should have been called a knock.
It's not just Tank anymore. A new video of referee Steve Willis being interviewed has also surfaced, making things even more intense. Let's bring you up to speed.
Did Gervontadavis take a knee, and should he have been deducted a point and in the end lost that fight to Roach, in your opinion?
Yeah, in my opinion, if it was a draw, he take a knee. And plus the corner go out.
The same fans who once cheered him on, the same analysts who once praised him as the most dangerous puncher in boxing, are now seizing on a single moment to tear Tank down. The internet has been brutal, with memes spreading fast, and suddenly, everyone has an opinion on what happened in the ring. Meanwhile, the New York State Athletic Commission is still investigating Steve Willis's handling of the fight, making the situation even more compelling. Just hours ago, Tank had enough. He exploded in frustration, making it clear that he's sick of the way boxing operates. "Look at everyone bashing me. They're the same ones who bet on me," he said. "In boxing, you lose once or have a bad night, and suddenly everyone forgets everything else, focusing only on that one bad night."
Boxing has become this thing where, you have to be undefeated for people to care about you, and that's all.
He's not wrong. Ever since the fight, the conversation has shifted from his career, his power, and his dominance to that single moment. The moment he dropped to one knee, the moment Steve Willis hesitated, and the moment Lamont Roach Jr. was arguably robbed of a legitimate knockdown. The narrative around Tank has shifted. The same people who once called him unstoppable are now saying he's vulnerable. Fighters who once steered clear of mentioning his name are now taking jabs. Acting like this is their opportunity to challenge him. And the worst part, people are now acting as though Shakur Stevenson could just walk through him.
What may happen against Shakur Stevenson? I hear more about Shakur Stevenson after this fight than I hear about Lamont Roach, which I think is sad.
That's what really set Tank off. "I lost focus in there, but that doesn't mean I'm done," he snapped. "I'll get back up and we'll see what everyone says. I'll put them all down." It's clear Tank is not just responding to the Roach fight. He's responding to the disrespect. He's seen the analysts, fans, and fighters taking shots at him, and he's making it clear that he's not backing down. But while Tank is dealing with the fallout, the debate about the fight itself continues to heat up. ProBox TV's panel discussion made one thing clear: what happened in the ring was a disaster. Veteran boxing writer Dan Rafael didn't hold back, saying that Willis's poor decisions cost Lamont Roach a championship and deprived him of being the one to hand America's top fighter his first loss.
The question is about Gervontadavis's power. What is his power like? Is he as hard a puncher as he's made out to be? If the best name that somebody could give me of somebody that he knocked out is a little dude who was at his, fourth weight? I can't read too much.
Former referee Jack Rice, along with trainer Stephen Braden Edwards and former champions Chris Algieri and Paulie Malignaggi, all agreed that Roach's knockdown should have been called. The way Willis handled the situation raised too many questions. First, there was his hesitation, then Tank turned his back and walked to his corner mid-round. Then, Calvin Ford, Tank's trainer, was allowed to step into the ring and wipe his face with a towel. "How does that happen?" Malignaggi asked during the panel. "How does a fighter just walk to his corner and get his face wiped while the ref does nothing? That's insane."
I think I won the fight. Now, granted, 9th round should have been called a knockdown. Two judges on the official scorecards gave him the round 10-9. If that was a knockdown, I win the round 10-8. That's a 3.
Now, ProBox TV founder Gary Jonas, who advises Roach, is pushing for the New York State Athletic Commission to overturn the results. He's filed an official appeal, arguing that Roach should be declared the winner. His reasoning is simple. The knockdown was clear. Tank turned his back during the fight, and Ford illegally stepped into the ring. Any one of these issues should have led to a point deduction. People make mistakes, but this always seems to favor the other side, Bradman Edwards pointed out. This sentiment is shared by many fans. When Tank was the undefeated superstar, everything went his way. But now that there's a sign of weakness, everyone is quick to point out how boxing protects its biggest stars. Malik Naji didn't hold back either. You can't call your own timeout. He said bluntly, that's not how it works.
You lost that fight. I mean, the only reason they gave you the fight was because you would make more money as a champion, but there's no way it's a draw, and they didn't call the knockdown. If they called a knockdown, you lost.
While the commission reviews the fight, Tank is focused on something else, revenge. He knows that if he had knocked out Roach earlier, none of this would be an issue. He's aware that the same analysts criticizing him now would be praising his power if things had gone differently. And let's not forget the fighters circling around him now. Shocker Stevenson wasted no time throwing shade, implying that Tank's performance shows he can't handle pure boxers. Ryan Garcia couldn't resist jumping in, mocking Tank on Twitter, saying, not so scary anymore, huh?
Foot's out, 1 foot out, you're going to get in the ring and you're going to have that moment where you got to step it up and it just won't come. I think that's what happened.
What do you think about him taking the knee at that point?
I think that...
should it have been ruled a knockdown?
Even Devin Haney, who's had his own issues with Tank, made sure to remind everyone that real champions don't take knees. Tank isn't just hearing this. He's taking notes. For him, this is personal now. It's not about whether the knee should have been counted as a knockdown. It's about proving that one bad night doesn't erase everything he's accomplished. He's always been known as the most dangerous puncher in the division, and he plans to remind the world why. How? Put them all down. He repeated.
And I thought he won the fight personally. The no knockdown, that was like unheard of. It was the first time I've ever seen it with my own 2 eyes. And
talk of a rematch with Roach is already circulating, but at this point, that doesn't seem like enough for Tank. He's looking beyond Roach. He wants to silence every person who's spoken against him. He wants to erase this moment from history with a knockout so brutal that no one ever brings up the Roach fight again. But the reality is, the controversy won't go away. Even if the New York Commission doesn't overturn the fight, this will remain a stain on Tank's legacy, at least for now. Fighters like Floyd Mayweather, Canelo Alvarez, and Muhammad Ali all face moments of doubt, but the difference was in how they responded. Tank's response shows that he's determined to prove this isn't the end, but rather the beginning of his next chapter. If history has taught us anything, it's that a pissed-off Gervontadavis is the most dangerous version of him.
I'm not sure, bro. I'm definitely not sure, but hopefully we could get it before. It probably won't be this year.
Is that the one you want next?
Despite Tank's feelings, criticism continues to pour in from boxing's biggest voices. The debate over his controversial moment grows louder, with more fighters, analysts, and even officials weighing in. The controversy isn't fading, it's intensifying. And now, there's a new twist. A video of referee Steve Willis being confronted about his handling of the situation has gone viral. In the clip, a fan catches Willis off guard, demanding to know why he didn't score a knockdown when Tank dropped to one knee. The fan didn't hold back, calling Tank's move some B, but Willis, clearly uncomfortable, refused to comment, saying, "I can't speak on that." The fan pushed again, but Willis shut him down, repeating, "I can't speak on it."
What you was thinking when Tank did that when he took the knee? What you was thinking when he took the knee? I can't speak on it. Can't speak on that? Yes. He did some bullshit though? I can't speak on it. You have no personal opinion, nothing? Can't, especially you.
That response only made matters worse. Many fans now see it as an admission that Willis knows he made a mistake, but refuses to acknowledge it publicly. The fact that the referee is dodging the conversation gives Roach's team even more reason to push for the result to be overturned. The fight ended in a majority draw, with one judge scoring at 115 to 113 for Davis, and the other scoring at 114 to 114. But now, with the pressure mounting, there's a real possibility that the outcome could change. WBA President Gilberto Mendoza Jr. has already made his stance clear. Let me repeat. taking a knee without a punch shall be ruled a knockdown. It affected the result of the fight.
That happened. You thought it was just an off night, or
everybody has an off night. Everybody has an off night. I had a fucking off night with fucking crew. Everyone has a fucking off night. It's fucking boxing. You wanna run that back with Cruz or what?
And Mendoza isn't the only one who believes Roach deserved the win. Fighters like Terrence Crawford and Ryan Garcia quickly spoke out, saying the wrong man had his hand raised. But the biggest shocker came from Canelo Alvarez. In an interview on Abro in the Morning, the undisputed super middleweight champion didn't just say that Tank should have lost the round. He said Tank should have been disqualified. He took a knee. He should have lost the round 10-8 at least, Canelo said. And plus, his corner went up and put a towel in his face. That's disqualification for sure. I'm talking about the rules.
Did Gervontadavis take a knee, and should he have been deducted a point, and in the end lost that fight to Roach, in your opinion?
Yeah, in my opinion, it was a draw. He take a knee. And plus the corner go up and put it a towel in the face. That's a disqualification for sure. I'm talking about the rules. But it's not.
For a fighter of Canelo's caliber, to say that Tank should have been disqualified is huge. It's not just about scoring anymore. It's about whether Tank should have even been allowed to continue the fight. If the referee had enforced the rules strictly, Roach might have walked away with a stoppage win. Tank's explanation for taking a knee has only fueled the controversy. His own hairstylist, who styled his hair before the fight, posted on Instagram that the products used wouldn't have caused such an issue. The post was quickly deleted, but screenshots are now circulating online, and the backlash doesn't stop there. The New York State Athletic Commission has confirmed that they attempted to use instant replay to review the 9th round, but couldn't due to a technical issue. According to their statement, there was a technical failure in obtaining the video in time, so the referees and ring decision stood. That explanation hasn't gone over well with many people. If instant replay exists but didn't work when it mattered most, what's the point?
I mean, look, he wasn't hurt. There's no doubt about that. But if you take a knee in the fight and you touch down, whilst punches are being thrown, it has to be a knockdown. I've heard some people saying, "Oh, that he should be disqualified. He went back to the corner." I don't buy that, to be honest with you. I mean, I think that's a warning. But it's a bit of a bizarre situation for me. Like, there was a lot of people.
Roach's team isn't letting this go. They've officially sent a letter to the NYSAC demanding the fight result be overturned. Their argument is simple. Tank voluntarily took a knee, and the referee failed to call it a knockdown. That alone would have changed the fight's outcome, but beyond that, Calvin Ford stepping into the ring mid-round should have resulted in either a point deduction or disqualification. Roach's team believes that when all of these factors are considered together, there's no way Tank should have kept his belt. Even Tank's own fans are struggling to defend him. Some argue that the fight was close enough that Roach winning the 9th round 108 wouldn't have guaranteed him a victory, while others claim that even if it had been ruled a knockdown, Tank would have found a way to win later. However, those arguments are being drowned out by the overwhelming criticism.
We will never see that fight happen again. It just will not happen. Gervonta Tank Davis doesn't like hard fights. It's that simple. We've seen it over and over. He fought a Ryan Garcia drained. He fought a very inexperienced Rolly Romero. He will not fight Devin Haney. He will not fight Shakur. He will not fight Pitbull Cruz again. He will not.
Former referee Jack Rice, one of boxing's most respected officials, has publicly stated that the wrong call was made, speaking on ProBox TV. Rice was clear. It should have been a knockdown. No question about it. The fighter voluntarily went down and under the rules. That's a knockdown. Rice also pointed out that when Tank took a knee, the fight should have been paused. Instead, chaos ensued. Tank walked to his corner, got wiped down, and the referee allowed the fight to continue, as if nothing happened. This was a mess, Rice said. It wasn't handled correctly at all.
It's very unfortunate, but if there was some outside factor that did get into his eye, I don't know. You're walking on a gray line, and that's when things aren't necessarily black or white. So it's a tough.
Roach's camp wasted no time filing an official protest. His attorney, Greg Smith, sent a formal challenge to NYAC Executive Director Matt Delalio, demanding that the result be overturned in Roach's favor. Although boxing protests rarely lead to overturned results, the weight of this controversy coupled with NYAC's admission of technical failure, has raised serious questions about the sport's regulatory process. Had Willis ruled it a knockdown, Roach would have won the 9th, round 10-8, which would have flipped the final scores and made him the new WBA lightweight champion.
Oh, stop closing up. Gotta let it go. Keep trying, step around. Keep trying.
Tank's explanation only added fuel to the fire. His claim has drawn widespread skepticism, even from his own hairstylist. Despite the backlash, the WBA initially defended Willis's decision. They released an article on their website stating that the referee's decision wasn't unreasonable. However, this only worsened matters as fans, fighters, and analysts accused the WBA of blatant favoritism. The backlash was so intense that WBA President Gilberto Mendoza quickly had the article removed and personally apologized to Roach and his father.
The New York State Athletic Commission makes a statement yesterday that they're going to be reviewing Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach, 9th round, knockdown, not a knockdown, whatever, to see what.
The WBA's biggest move came when Mendoza publicly announced that he had asked the WBA committee to push for an immediate rematch. He stated that the WBA would closely follow Lamont Roach Jr.'s direct rematch case. Davis has claimed he's open to a rematch, but given the circumstances, many doubt his sincerity. If the rematch happens, Roach's team would likely demand a different referee, given how costly Willis's decision proved to be.
I signed for the immediate rematch when I signed for the first fight.
Right.
Just in case he lost or just in case it was a draw.
So when you got a rematch clause, how long we taking?
It's up to the A side and when they want to fight. So I'm thinking it's going to be soon. I'm hoping it's going to be soon. Let's say that.
What is soon to you? When you say soon to me, I'm thinking a month.
I'm thinking July.
Meanwhile, the NYSAC remains under fire for its handling of the controversy. Their admission of a technical issue preventing the replay review has drawn heavy criticism. With many calling for reforms, the Commission's explanation did little to ease concerns. As the pressure mounts on the NYSAC, Roach's team continues to push for justice, and the WBA is now reconsidering its stance, while Tank retains his title for now. The controversy isn't going away anytime soon. Calls for a rematch grow louder, and scrutiny of the NYSAC's handling of the situation intensifies. The Commission's inquiry may take weeks or months to conclude, but once new details emerge, you'll be the first to know. Be sure to subscribe for all the latest updates.